Hello, I'm Ruth Godfrey, the Education Officer from the University of Leicester Botanic Garden. This is usually an exciting time of year with a number of different celebrations. Did any of you go trick-or-treating for Halloween? Have you seen any fireworks for November the 5th or Diwali? Or are you planning to celebrate Hanukkah? We have another celebration near the end of December, Christmas. For those of you who celebrate Christmas, what do you think of? Do you think about Santa and presents? Or maybe putting up Christmas decorations? Christmas has a lot of links with plants. Christmas trees and Christmas wreaths are shown on the slide. Today you will learn much more about the plants at Christmas time we use for decorations, food, and even plants in the Christmas story. The third picture is a christingle made from an orange, which comes from an orange tree. There is a tradition in many churches where all the children who come to the christingle service are given a christingle. The orange represents the world, the candle the God's light, the 4 sticks are the 4 seasons, spring, summer, autumn, winter, and also north, south, and east and west. The dried fruit and sweets on the stick show gifts from God. In the Christmas story, the wise men brought 3 presents to baby Jesus. What presents would you take for a baby? Maybe some clothes or a toy. But the presents the wise men took were a bit strange, weren't they? Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But the wise men gave these presents because Christians believed they each had a special meaning. The gifts were at the time very expensive and very few people could afford to give them as presents. What is the meaning of gold? Where does it come from? It is a metal that's dug out of the ground. In the picture is a gold nugget which can then be turned into objects like a gold ring. Who might have lots of gold? Kings and queens maybe. So they gave Jesus gold because Christians believe he was going to be a special king. Frankincense and myrrh come from trees that grow where it is hot and dry, most in Somalia and parts of India, but also in Oman, Yemen, Ethiopia and Saudi Arabia. Can you see any of these countries on the map? What happens when you fall over? Sometimes you cut yourself and blood comes out. Now trees don't have blood, but they do have a liquid called sap. When the frankincense and myrrh trees are 8 to 10 years old, they are cut and a thick white liquid comes out which hardens. This special sap is called resin. The resins are part of the tree's defences against insects that might want to eat it, as it is very sticky. It also has chemicals in that kill bacteria that can harm the tree. This resin can be burnt as crystals or burnt in joss sticks. Frankincense, when burnt, produces a sweet smell and has been used for many, many years in temples and churches. Christians believe that Jesus, as well as being a man, was also God's son. In the story of the wise men, the frankincense was to show that Jesus was also God because the smoke rises up to heaven. Myrrh is a resin from a myrrh tree, and it's taken from the myrrh tree in the same way frankincense is taken from a frankincense tree. It can be burnt but has a strong smell. It is used more as an oil in medicine and mouthwashes. It was also used to be put on dead bodies. This is what was used on the mummies in ancient Egypt. The gift of myrrh showed that Jesus was going to die, and his death would be very important. Christians believe that after he died, he came back to life, and that is celebrated at Easter. Christians believe that in the story of the 3 wise men, the gold was to show that Jesus was a king. The frankincense was to show he was both man and God, and the myrrh was to show he was going to die in a special way. Both frankincense and myrrh are plants in the Christmas story. Do any of you use any plants for Christmas decorations? Many people have Christmas trees, although not everybody uses real trees. However, some people, like the family in the picture, go to a special garden centre where they dig a tree out of the ground and take it home. These look very different than frankincense and myrrh trees. Spruce or fir trees are mainly used as Christmas trees. You can tell the difference of spruces have brown woody bases to the leaf stalks and firs are green. Many trees lose their leaves in autumn. The trees that don't lose their leaves are called evergreen. We use evergreen trees as Christmas trees. It is thought decorating trees in the way we do started today in Germany 500 years ago. Then in Britain about 150 years ago, Queen Victoria encouraged her German husband Albert to decorate a Christmas tree, as he had done as a child in Germany, and this made the tradition become very popular in Britain. Originally they were decorated with homemade paper decorations and apples and sweets, and before the discovery of electricity, candles were used as lights. There are many different holly leaves. Look at the shape and colour of these leaves. We often use pieces of holly with their berries for decoration. Did you know only female holly trees have berries? Long ago, the Celts had a winter solstice festival on the 21st of December, which is the shortest day of the year. They put evergreens such as holly and ivy in their homes to show that although many of the plants look dead in the winter, they are not, and soon everything will grow again in the spring. Mistletoe is also used as a Christmas decoration. As you see from the picture on the slide, when it grows it doesn't touch the ground. It hangs on a tree known as its host and takes the water it needs from this tree. The tradition is that at Christmas time that you kiss your lover under the mistletoe. This came from the Vikings. Balder, a god, was killed, and Frigga's mother declared that the mistletoe to be a symbol of love after her son's death, and promised to kiss anyone who passed underneath it. There are many Christmas decorations that can be made from parts of plants. There are just 3 ideas on the slides. The cones in the picture could also be painted or covered in PVA glue with coloured sand shaken over to make them different colours. Or you can stick on googly eyes and a red pom-pom to make them into reindeer. You could also add decorations onto the trees made of small sticks. There are many special foods we have at Christmas. All the vegetables and fruit we eat come from plants, as do all the different types of drink. Christmas cake and Christmas pudding contains raisins, cherries, orange, lemons and spices that are all from different plants. We enjoy many sweet things which contain sugar. Sugar also comes from plants. The sugar cane in the picture grows in hot countries. Chocolate is often eaten at Christmas and given as presents. This also contains sugar. The main ingredient are from cocoa beans. Can you see these growing on a cocoa tree in the picture? The pods are split open and the cocoa beans that are used to make chocolate are inside. Now you know much more about the plants used at Christmas. Thank you for listening, and if you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a lovely time.